Associate Pastor of United Methodist Church, who's our invitation.
Let's pray. Father God, we give you thanks for this evening, Lord, for this beautiful day that you've given us, and Lord, for each of the members and the bodies that are represented here this evening. God, we give you thanks for the ability to be about your business as this town is governed, and Lord, that we may be faithful stewards to the challenges that face us. And God, we give you thanks for all of this. In Jesus' name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk Foster, will you have the roll call, please?
Steve Arnott.
Here.
Mike Scipio.
Here.
Doug Fleshman.
Here.
Greg Hudson.
Here.
Greg Wolf.
Here.
Connie Thompson.
Present.
Jim Hughes.
Here.
Linda Bogus.
I'm here.
The quorum being present, I declare the City of Dunbar Council meeting in order for March the 18th, 2019. First item on the agenda is invoices submitted for payment.
Mr. Chair, we need to approval minutes first.
Oh, I'm sorry. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes for the March 4th, 2019 council meeting. So moved. Second.
Take a pick.
There's been a motion by Councilman Scipio and a second by Councilman Fleshman to approve the minutes of the March 4th, 2019 council meeting. Any questions, comments, discussions? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is approval of minutes for the March the 11th, 2019 special council meeting. Submitted. Second. There's been a motion by Councilman Wolf to approve the minutes of the March 11th, 2019 special council meeting, seconded by Councilman Scipio. Any questions, comments, or discussion? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carries. Now, invoices submitted for payment.
Mr. Chair, I move that we pay our total due $238,967.26 for this period.
Second. There's been a motion by Councilman Hudson to approve invoices and payment in the amount of $238,967.26. Seconded by Councilman Hughes. Any further discussion or comment?
No. Jim didn't.
Oh.
Give me a second.
I'm sorry. That's incorrect.
He changed his voice.
We changed chairs and he changed his voice.
Sounds like
Everybody's changing chairs on me.
I think it's co-mingling of the third and fourth. Okay. Being no further discussion, the motion is by Councilman Hudson to pay the invoices totaling $238,967.26, seconded by Councilman Wolf. Any further question or comment?
Mr. Chair, it was brought to my attention by Councilman Fleshman that we may want to notify citizens at the last meeting. We approved payment of the final invoices to Wolf Creek. I get their full title, Wolf Creek Construction on our streetscape. And so that was approved last meeting, but that's included in this $238,000 total. So that's why it is elevated. That was approved, and most of that, 80% of that was from state grants. So just so everybody understands why the elevated prices.
Any further comment? Okay. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Motion carries. Better get straightened up. Okay, next item on the agenda is approval of a changed police department procedure number 52, use of force. And before we get into that, we'll have Chief Moss address that.
I have a little bit of history on that. The last time they'd been visited was in 2009, and before that, 2003. And where there's most of the vehicle damage comes from the last crashes, injuries to our officers because they're on light duty, and liability to the city, which also means the citizens' money. We reviewed that policy and the emergency response vehicle pursuit, offered some changes to the safety committee. They've approved them, and now we're before you. If you'd like me to go into detail. Basically, it's going to take strikes to the head, whether it's with apparatus or knees, fist first, will be moved to a level 5, where daily force now is authorized instead of level 3. They're not playing that local academy, and start policy to fall in line with where they've been trained.
So on the use of force, this will put us in line with the state police academy.
Any further discussion?
And this, I know it came through committee, but it came out of committee the way that you all felt was best from your side.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I make a motion that we approve this change in police department procedures and the use of force.
Second. There's been a motion by Councilman Fleshman to approve the change to police department procedure number 52, use of force, seconded by Councilman Wolf. Any further discussion or comment? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is approval of change to police department procedure 44, emergency response and vehicular pursuit. Again, Chief, would you address that?
Again, Mayor, Council, the history of that's the same. Our injuries to officers comes from that. Vehicle liability. What we're doing is we're going to limit now the vehicles that we initiate pursuits on. And any pursuit that starts outside the city, once it comes in the city, we will not lead it or continue in it once it exits, if it exits the city. Those are the two changes to that.
There's one clause in the recommendation, though, unless during that period, the felonious assault is put on one of our
Occurs.
officers. Okay.
On and off, because within the last year, we've had several pursuits where shots have been fired. So yes, we will continue those.
Any further questions or comments? Okay, I would entertain a motion for approval of revision to Police Department Procedure number 44, emergency response and vehicular pursuit.
So moved.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
There's been a motion by Councilwoman August to approve the change to Police Department Procedure 44, emergency response and vehicular pursuit, seconded by Councilwoman Thompson. Any further discussion or comment? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is replacement of the window in the police department.
I move that we approve the replacement of the window of the police department at a cost of $1,285 by Mountaineer Glass.
Second.
There's been a motion by Councilman Arnott to approve the police department at the cost of $1,285 by Mountaineer Glass, seconded by Councilman Scipio. Any further discussion, comment, question?
Mr. Chairman, to the citizens, this is a security glass, and this will make it a little safer for those who work in the police department. Give them some time if anything would happen, somebody comes in the front door and attacks anyway. So it is it's a step forward in security for them at the police department.
Clarify that, it's 2 windows.
Okay. Any further question or comment? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is approval to replace the roof on the city park caretaker's house.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the amount of $5,500 to Ed's Home Improvement, Ed's Home and Commercial Improvement, replace the roof of the caretaker's house. And it was the only bid that we received also.
For the record, there were other bids solicited, only one was returned.
There's been a proper motion by Councilman Scipio to approve the replacement of the roof on the city park caretaker's house with the metal roof, gutters, downspouts at a cost not to exceed $5,500 by the contractor Ed's Home and Commercial Improvements, seconded by Councilman Arnott. Any further question, comment? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is approval to replace the roof on Fire Station number 2.
I'd like to make a motion that we replace the roof on Fire Station number 2 with a metal roof in the amount of not to exceed $6,600, also from Ed's Home and Commercial Improvement.
Second.
Should be noted for the record that we did get multiple bids for that particular structure, and they are the lowest responsive bidder. There's been a motion by Councilman Scipio to approve the replacement of the roof on Fire Station number 2 with metal roof, gutters, downspouts at cost not to exceed $6,600 by Ed's Home and Commercial Improvements, seconded by Councilman Fleischman. Any further question or comment? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Next item on the agenda is payment of invoice to the state auditor for the 2015-16 audit.
I'd move we approve the state auditor payment in the amount of $6,000. $2,000 of it be paid by the sanitation department.
Second.
There's been a proper motion by Councilman Arnott to approve payment for the 2015-16 audit to the state auditor in the amount of $6,000, with $2,000 to be reimbursed by the Dunbar Sanitary Board. Any seconded by Councilman Scipio. Any further question or comment? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is bids for spring paving projects.
I make a motion that we advertise for bids for the spring paving project.
Second.
There's been a motion by Councilwoman Thompson to approve advertising for bids for spring paving projects, seconded by Councilwoman August. Any Questions, comments? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is approval to purchase lawn maintenance equipment.
I'd like to make a motion, we approve the equipment in the total amount of $12,342.96. This is a variety of equipment from different vendors.
Second.
There's been a motion by Councilman Scipio to approve purchase of lawn maintenance equipment totaling $12,342.96 from various vendors, as detailed in the packet. It's seconded by Councilman Fleshman. Any further question or comment?
Just a note for the citizens, Mr. Chairman, that if you were at finance, you know that we went through and beach rails from Public Works brought us several different items. And so this is a good value. And like it was mentioned, it's from 2 different vendors to get the best values on trailers and equipment, the supplies we desperately need for Public Works.
Any further comment or question? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is approval to pay invoice from One Beacon Insurance Group, the deductible on 3 lawsuits in the amount of $5,457.43.
I'd like to make a motion that we pay this invoice for One Beacon Insurance Group, which is our deductibles on the 3 lawsuits in the amount of $5,457.43.
I'll second that.
There's been a motion by Councilman Fleshman to approve payment to One Beacon Insurance Group in the amount of $5,457.43 for the deductible on the 3 lawsuits. Seconded by Councilman Arnott. Any further question or comment? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Motion carries. We'll go to reports. We'll go to Chief Moss.
Evening, Mayor and Council. I know a lot of the guests that weren't here earlier, but the department is giving a hiring test on April 13th. Applications have to be in by April 5th, at the end of business day. It's Friday. If there's someone interested in the job, have them come see the clerk in the clerk's office, pick up that application. Want to give thanks to Betty Ross and the Women's Club for facilitating our first aid class we had last Thursday. We had 45 participants from down. Even a couple people from Fayette County came down that had heard about it. So thanks again for letting us come to your place and all the cookies that you made. Thank Mike Oakley from Deputy Director of Homeland Security, Doug Douglas from CMC that helped with that. Need to thank Johnny Booth. He lives in Ward 2. He heard we was painting. He paints for a living. He donated some drop cloths, paint brushes, and all that for our painting party we had last Friday. Thank the reserves for helping with that and everything they do. Thank the mayor, council clerk, and even the counselor for being so successful in things we need. Appreciate it. If you want to have any questions, take them.
I just want to say that when I'm out and driving around, I see the lights and signals like everybody else. I look to see what's happening. And I just want to say, I've seen Bill out there working quite a bit. And he's out there with his fellow officers and earn the respect by working with your people.
Appreciate that. We try to get out there and just, we used a fingerprint scanner again, identified a guy that had lied to us. He was wanted out of Virginia. That was the pursuit. And Luciano had a vehicle stop today at Kentry Gilmore. Both guys there was wanted for first degree robbery. The firearm that was involved in that was in the car. So they're out there working with you.
Well, I just want to commend you for working.
Thank you.
Next, Fire Chief Chris Thornhill.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for the roof. Appreciate that.
Orange and black, right?
Yes, sir. I'll take whatever color you want. I mentioned to you guys last time about fire instructors, how we were leaning more toward getting our own people certified to teach. And it's one of those things that will pay for itself many years into it. I'm proud to announce that all three of those people that we did extend to that and have successfully completed it. One of them is Mr. McGinnis right there. They had, from my count, they had about 60 hours of class, and that's not counting the 40 or 50 hours of homework they had. It was not an easy undertaking, and I watched them work and talk to each other and stare at computers more in the last 2 weeks than I have in a long time. It was, they really had to do a lot. They had to put together presentations, show that they could teach, show that they could interact with people over a variety of different subjects and different things within the fire service. So I'm very proud of them. All three of them have successfully completed. The fire department has been also busy in officer training within the department. We had a lot of newer people that were getting certified up to meet state requirements. We're working, should complete that this month. And all that's internal, no external cost involved in that. And all of our apparatus we've worked with Scott's department, got everything caught up on its vehicular inspections. So with all that said, we're getting all of our internal stuff done so we can start next month into hose testing and outdoor things. That's all I have, sir, but I'll take any questions anyone has.
I'd like to mention that certification of these fire instructors in-house will save the city money because we don't want to be sending these people to classes all the time, either other parts of the state or in other states. So it will save money, like you said, especially in the long run.
Public Works, Mr. Elliott.
Yes. Two things. I'm having a lot of problems with trash blowing. The wind's been high and trash is everywhere. If you all see anybody that's just throwing their trash in the trash can and not putting it in bags, give us or give the police department or Hugh a call about that, especially, probably Greg. We got a lot of trash problems. Started to go work on alleys that are too high today and found out there is no gravel to be found in the valley to replace it whenever we take it out. So it's going to be delayed for a little bit. If you've looked out here on Dunbar Avenue, our guys started painting along in front of Captain D's and going west, trying to make that a little bit nicer looking. And I have cold patch and I'm out currently trying to fill holes. So a lot of you that have the holes in your blacktop alleys will be getting those fixed hopefully here in the next few weeks. Weather pending. Anybody has any questions, I'll take them now.
Scott, we need a list of that, I guess I can call it junk that you got down there in the garage. In all the cars.
I've got it already.
You got it? Good. You're good.
What Mr. Elliott is referring to, if you don't have garbage cans, you will be getting a citation and you will be coming to municipal court. All garbage has to be in garbage cans and it has to have lids on it. And if it's not, we're going to be starting cracking down on that real soon. It's starting to become a huge problem again. So,
And if you see homeless people going through it, make sure you call the police department because they are cutting them bags. And I know that everybody's putting it out. Some people are putting it out in bags and it's still getting spread everywhere. Call them guys and let them know so they can come up there and do something.
well, call 911 or the non-emergency number because calling the police department directly won't get you a response. They have to be dispatched. Okay. Next on the agenda is Sanitary Department Assistant Director Matt.
Mayor, council, audience. Right now, we're getting ready to start with some lines that are failing down in Shawnee. We want to be exploratory digging to see where the dirt's going. So we'll be taking care of that. And we're waiting on pavement to finish up the Dunbar Avenue. So as soon as they're,
Or cold patch.
well, You can use that if you want. Any other questions? I'll be glad to take those.
Building Inspector, Mr. Leishman.
Thank you, Mayor, council, citizens. We worked up the city park last week, me and some guys from the public works department. We got 92 feet of curb poured in. So looks pretty good. So we're still got a little bit of things to do yet. Pull the front forms off so they can polish the wall up a little bit, since it will be visible from the roadside. The back side of it, we still have to trench and get some gravel in for drainage. We don't have hopefully this week. I don't know if anybody's driven by 301.5 19th Street, but gone. I will be collecting all the bills we have outstanding on that and sending it to the property owner to reimburse, which I'm sure is going to be a Herculean task to get him to pay it, but we'll get it in the end. 213 Dunbar Avenue is down on the ground and cleaned up, so that's another eyesore gone. We've got a couple more we're working on right now, trying to get the deed to 135 Dunbar Avenue. You might remember we tore down a two-story apartment a couple of years ago. This is the front house of that. She's in the nursing home, and the boys, her 3 adult sons are heirs to it, so I'm working on getting that. Steve's got another one we're working on getting. The roof of the firehouse is going to be blue, so you'll feel that warmth of law enforcement.
Red.
We're getting roofs done on that, and I think we'll be caught up pretty much on. But did you get your roof fixed at the rest? Yes. I think we're good on roofs. We're not going to put the swing set up at the park until we're ready to open the park. Will hopefully be another month, I would say, yes. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to take any questions, comments.
What's the status of the restroom?
I have not got hold of Greg yet. I was out most of the week last week on this other stuff. I'm gonna try to see if I can get him this week.
No, we need to get back out some bids.
Yeah, I mean, if he was working on some other stuff and waiting on the weather to break. So I don't know if he's ready to go on it or not, but I will get hold of him tomorrow and see what we've got there. And I got a text message from Wolf Creek from Don Gatewood the other day, and he said they will be down within the next 2 weeks to finish Dunbar Avenue, to get all the punch and stuff. As soon as he contacts me, is ready for final inspection.
Well, he's not going to, do that restroom in the next couple of weeks or so.
I wholeheartedly agree. We'll repost it, yeah.
Also, the sidewalk there at 19th and West Virginia Avenue, that's the one tuned up the tree.
Right.
Nothing's been done. What's the story on that?
I don't know that I've ever got the letter out to them. I was working on a couple down in there, and I think that was slipped through the cracks and some other stuff. I do have photographs of it, and it's ready. All I gotta do is write it up, I'm sure. I'll check through my records tomorrow and see if anything's gone, but I think I missed that.
Okay, and I hate to bring this up.
Yeah.
The last 2 years, I think, year and a half, 2 years, we've been working on these satellite dishes. When we get these things cleaned up?
I thought we were pretty well done on it.
No, I just jotted down a few that I saw. I got a page of them here, and,
Some of them have letters from their satellite companies that say they can't be moved to get a signal. And if that being the case, we can't remove it.
I realize that. I would debate that, but that's another story here too. I mean, you
And
can always
FCC
go up.
rules.
Yeah, I know. That's just a few that I found. Some of them are old, some of them are new, but it seems like it won't go away.
Yeah, I've talked to all the installers, or well, I'm not gonna say all the installers, I've talked to management of the installers. Now, when we had the satellite put up, the guy came out of Ohio to put ours in. So they're all contract labor. I think they just get tickets to go wherever, they don't know specific ordinances. And it's kind of hard to know when they're putting one in unless you're driving by. So we'll keep plugging that.
Well, there should be something we can do with the company. I mean, they're bringing in outside contractors to work here that don't have licenses. Somewhere along the line, somebody got to figure it out.
I don't know, Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, if they're hiring contract labor through their installation department, they're not considered employees of it, unless they're strictly 1099 employees.
That's a real great question. But I think that if, once we get the computer program in, which everybody has to have a business license and they're located, that's going to solve your problem.
That might be the fix.
That's going to be a fix.
But they're all of these.
One of the silver linings of that cloud.
Yes. All of the installers are familiar with hardware. It has to be the backyard, wrong. So if the actual installers aren't following, it's just something we have to get while it's going on, basically.
Of course, the homeowner's responsible, so it's all falling back there.
They get the same response on it. Oh, that's the only place I'm going to get sick. And I don't have testing equipment to verify that, so you kind of at their mercy on
I understand. All right,
that. You know it?
I quit.
Any of y'all have any questions for Mr. Glazier? Okay. Recreation, Mr. Jones.
Thank you, Mayor. Citizens, couple things. The annual Easter egg hunt will be April 20th at the Dunbar Intermediate School at 11 a.m. It'll only last about 15 minutes if that. You know, the kids go hide 4, 5, 6,000 eggs and they'll be picked up within 10 minutes. Also, we are hiring for the 2019 Shawnee pool season, front desk, lifeguards, and concession. Come down to the rec center and get an application if you know anybody's interested. We'll be starting on that. We have started some things down there at the pool already. So, you know, get them in there. If they need, anybody wants to do lifeguarding, they can get with us. We will find them a place. I know Councilman Arnett called me the other day and said South Charleston is having classes. So, you know, we can send them in the right direction. Anybody got anything? We will email one over to you.
What time do you say they go?
11.
Okay, public's chance. Any comments from the public, questions, concerns? Yes, sir.
Okay, my name is Blaine Wiley. I'm the new president of Dunbar Little League Baseball. I've got some of my board and some of my kids here with me too that are going to be participating this year. All in all, I don't know what the previous regime had in place with the city or anything like that, but I'm not above asking for help from the city with anything that we've got going on. Because right now I've got about 70 kids signed up to play baseball this year. And the better we can make these fields for these kids, the better the experience is going to be for all of them to keep coming back and keep themselves out of trouble, give them an alternate outlet to do something different. My kids included in that too. So with anything, you know, I mean, we've been putting in a lot of work over there right now the past month, repainting baseball, or repainting all the buildings at the baseball field, digging up home plate and repositioning the bases so they're properly aligned. And just everything we can possibly think of to make this a better experience for the kids. Nike sponsoring us too, so they're giving us cleats for every kid that signed up to play. So full uniforms for everybody from head to toe. So, you know, any help that the city can provide for us, we would greatly appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Where field are y'all playing at?
The ones on 22nd Street.
or any help of any citizens would be appreciated. I assume as well.
Absolutely.
Do you have a contact number so somebody can contact you?
Yes, it's me personally, and my number is 304-382-8561.
What's your name again?
Blanks Wiley, Blanks.
Are
You know,
taking
Mrs. Wiley,
Sponsorships for businesses?
the music teacher,
Yes.
Yes, that's my mother.
that's his mom.
Are you taking, business sponsorship?
Absolutely. And
You have somebody running that yet?
any sponsorships that do come in, you know, we'll put a banner out there on the field for you to promote your business. It'll be used solely towards the betterment of this program for the children.
Now, is it T-ball through baseball or?
Yes, we have enough kids now to field 3 T-ball teams, a coach pitch team, and a player pitch team. Little league team. So
What about girls? Are there any girls?
all girls are playing too, right alongside everybody.
I have 2 girls on my baseball team, 9 through 12. And then we have girls playing T-ball. We don't have numbers softball teams right now, but,
But we
We
can
get
try it
there.
out.
Awesome.
Baseball, as a sport, if you're not familiar, some of you may be baseball fans, may not, but baseball as a sport in the United States, from an American perspective, is severely struggling. And in our town, it's not just our town, it's struggling, but if it can survive and thrive in Dunbar, it'll be because of Mr. Wiley. He's a go-getter and a very hard worker and honest man. So hopefully we can find ways to support this and revive it in our town, because it's a key part of kids understanding about life, learning discipline, learning the idea of teamwork. That's part of why I struggle. There's a lot of individual sports, whereas baseball is not an individual sport. It takes the whole crew together. So hopefully it'll thrive again like it used to.
We're getting there.
and just to speak on what Blank said, the reason I got involved, is, first of all, I heard that Blanks was the president. I had experience with him in the past, as well as his mother, went to New York with her on a trip once. So, but I was president of this league years and years ago. I don't have a kid in this league. But we heard that, they wanted to fold. And it brought tears to my eyes. And because I grew up in this town, and we recently moved back into this town and bought a home back here. And it was just sad to hear that we would be losing Dunbar Little League. So got my husband involved, we got involved, now my children are involved, and so we're doing everything we can. So anything that you all can do, you know, we're trying to get the word out, because a lot of people think that Dunbar doesn't have a Little League anymore. So we're trying to get the word out and sign-ups. And just a little bit we've done, we went from having, you know, maybe 1 T-ball team to having a 9 through 12, a player pitch, and 3 T-balls, which is the future of our town.
Y'all, the 3 T-ball teams, they don't travel like they did back when, years ago when I had CJ.
We have 3 T-ball
Okay,
teams.
Well, correction, 1 T-ball team will travel.
Wait,
Okay.
how we
It's an
split it up,
older
we have an intermediate T-ball they played before.
Okay.
So they're gonna travel with like Sissonville, our baby T-ball teams, which are our 4 and 5-year-olds, are just gonna play each other.
I know they will send us down Quarter G one time, and I was coaching 5 and 6-year-old kid. I'm like, there's no way.
Absolutely. So
No.
we did everything we could to try to, you know, reach out, try to get more kids, you know, so, you know, these smaller kids would not have to travel. Now, my team, the 9 through 12, absolutely has to travel.
Y'all still doing sign-ups?
Still doing
Yes,
sign-ups, yes.
Everything is still open. And another point too, for the community to show their support in this, our opening day is going to be April 13th. Saturday, April 13th, probably starting around noon. So.
We have a little parade or something, or just
Well,
opening
that's
field.
I know we used to back in, I know Monopoly, we had
Yeah,
a parade and everything like that.
Get with Bob, and Bob will-
Try to get it maybe on the market, something like that too. I'll get the correct.
Anybody else? Is it a happy crowd? I think.
Everybody's smiling.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
Get them outside and away from them video games.
Council comments. Steve?
The other thing I say is now that the state has changed our philosophy on secondary roads, as it's called, let's hope that we can get Dunbar Avenue and 60s. We need to stay on top of it.
I just like to say, I am enthused about everyone that's come out to the council meeting tonight. Usually it's mostly empty seats, so we do have more people that are taking a physical interest in the operation of our city. I'd like to commend Mr. Wiley for taking on the baseball program again. You know, years ago, it was the biggest Little League program in the whole state of West Virginia. And just over the years, it's just demised and demised. So thank you very much for taking the role to try to build back up.
Just an update from last Monday, we had a special council meeting. And since it was all scheduled, it was announced and everything was done properly, but it wasn't the normal night, so there weren't many citizens here. What we worked on was the fireman's pension. As you know, we've had a $12.5 million unfunded liability, so we're working our way through that. We made several steps. We're not done with the process, but we made several steps. One, to essentially stop the bleeding, and that the current strategy and structure of the pension will be closed to new hires. New hires will go on a statewide system, much like the city police already is in their setup. And they will be restructuring the pension for the retirees based on state principles. And the next part of this project is to deal with the long-term funding of it. And so we will start on April 1st in our finance meeting, start further discussions and working our way through that, because we have to work on a long-term funding. This is not a new problem. It's a problem actually the state of West Virginia got us into in 1992, 93, 94, one of the, I forget the exact, Councilman Scipio, but in that era, they actually recommended the plan that we have been on. And so, of course, you took the advice of the state of West Virginia, and ended up it has been a debacle of the plan. And something that was realized was a problem 10, 15 years ago or more, and it's just been put off and put off. So we have made progress in dealing with it. Now, again, we have to follow up on the second side of it to deal with the long-term funding of it. So we will be discussing that. You may want to come to finance and the council to keep track of it, because it will. There's limited ways we can raise revenue in the city, in any city in the state of West Virginia. But this is not a fun thing to do, but it is a desperately necessary thing to do. These guys risk their lives for us all the time. The ones that are retired risk their lives for the 25, 30, whatever years that they worked as well. And we have not only a moral but a legal obligation. It's not just a moral obligation, but a legal obligation to make sure this is funded and taken care of. And so how we get to there may not always be the funnest process or the most enjoyable for our own finances, but it's something we have to deal with. And so that journey begins on the August 1st meeting as we start looking at sources of long-term revenue. But I just want you to know what was going on. And it's one of those situations where we're trying to solve problems. But as usual, in a case like this, when you've let it go 20 years, nobody is a clear winner. Everybody has to give in some form. The firemen understand that the new hires will be on a different system. That's a form of giving on their side. We'll have to come up with other funding, which is a form of giving on our side. And we're trying to work together to get this resolved. Just wanted you to be updated on that. Thank you.
That's my bedtime.
I'm just glad to know that the Dunbar Little League is going to be starting back up and being more active, and we will help you out as best that we can, as far as the city's concerned.
I'd just like to thank all the department heads for the great job they continue to do. Mr. McGinnis and the other firemen there that have done this training. It's going to save a lot of money for the city long run, and Mr. Wiley for getting this Little League back up. These kids need this, and I appreciate it.
I'd just like to thank everybody for being here, and a lot of new faces out here tonight. So I want to invite everybody to our neighborhood watch program that we host every month. It's downstairs here right in the Senior Citizen Hall, the second Thursday of every month, starting at 6 p.m., which the next one will be April the 11th. Love to see you guys come now where we're starting some programs up because summertime's coming up. We're looking for block captains, coordinators, callers. That way, if you see something going on, you pick up the phone, you call your neighbor, you start videoing, we get it to the police department, let them act on it real quick. Trying to get this going all over the city and getting it wide open. We have a neighborhood watch app that's out there that you can join and get on and place your remarks, post things on. And this is a great time to come and get all your questions and answers made on arrests and different things like that. I'd love to see you out there on April 11th. And again, thank y'all very much for being here.
Just echoing, glad to see everybody out tonight. Like I said, there's always a lot of empty seats, but a neighborhood, a community that's involved is a good community. So we're glad everybody's out. Please come back. That's all.
There's several people, a couple I see out there tonight that are involved in the trying to revitalize the beautification league. If you all are interested in the gardens in the community, if there's not someone to take care of them, they're going to get like they were last year and start looking ratty and nasty. And so somebody needs to, if you're interested, you need to get with the group. I think Betty is an active member of that, and Sharon Pearson and several others, but get with them and get involved and step up and make sure that these things are taken care of and are shining light in the city so that they don't get back to the way they were last year before Fall Festival when there was a big cleanup mode to get them cleaned up. They're about ready in a condition now where you can get out there and work them with very low effort to get them spruced up and ready for the rest of the year. We're spending a lot of time and a lot of resource trying to get our parks back in order. They've been neglected for years and years and years. We've installed a barrier up at the Wine Cellar Lake along the access road where this past fall we had a group of vandals that went up there and drove their vehicle in all the grass areas and totally destroyed the green spaces. So we've Scott's crews took railroad ties and cut them in half. Unfortunately, we have to block off the green spaces with old railroad ties to keep them from destroying a beautiful place. And we'll continue to do that and monitor it and keep it to where it's a pleasant place for everybody to go. And the city park, they've been working hard up there. It's going to end up becoming an inclusive park with a one-of-a-kind wheelchair swing that looks kind of like a gazebo, and an inclusive swing, plus improving the barrier around the park and mulch and so forth. And Scott's crews have kind of adopted some of the mini parks through the city, and he's assigned people to them to stay on top of it to make sure that they're clean and mowed and taken care of. So, you know, that's all I've got.
Mr. Mayor, for the good of the order, if there is no other city business, I move we adjourn our meeting.
Second.